right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai, the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, the names in Paleo Ancient Hebrew. Double honors to the Apostle Elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Salutations to you few brothers that preach, teach, and prophesy His word in truth and sincerity. So put our lives on the line in these last days. To you sisters and that are out there that may listen, Shalom. Brother Aryaga from the Grand Rapids, Michigan camp, here with another nifty lesson. Let's get into it. All right, so Mark the Beast update. A lot of things going on. Outside of just the Genius Act that's been passed, we know that RFID microchip will be the mark of the beast. Also, the Neuralink, whatever they call it in the day that they bring it out, those are what basically the frameworks of what they are. And the Neuralink is the brain chip, also pushed by Elon Musk, right? So let's get into it. It's a lot of things that are being passed people aren't aware of. They don't know what's going on. So we do tend to sound like a broken record, but the truth is the truth. And when we bring out the truth, it's to educate the masses and to keep you hip to what's going on. So you can have some sort of preparation, because in that day, it's going to be no excuses. Nobody is going to have an excuse. Oh, I got the chip and I didn't know it. That's not happening, okay? Everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to have to make a choice, okay? So let's get this popping. Let's go ahead and show you the first video.
Almost everyone's under mind control. All these MAGA people are massively under mind control. And they're cheering on all this tariff stuff, which all it really does, it steal from people.
Also, fair use.
People in the U.S. But then Trump goes and with all these other countries does deals. Hey, we'll give you a break on not stealing a bunch of the money from people in the U.S. on your products, which makes it more expensive for them, which hurts your business. If you put in the B system, all the electronic ID and all that kind of stuff. They're doing it everywhere. They're doing it here in Mexico.
We will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
The main purpose of opening the borders was to create chaos so that order in the form of a digital ID system would be tolerated. In order for a
What does it say? Order out of chaos. All right. Or also in Latin, auto ad chaos. To improve totalitarianism, control over totalitarian control over society. First, by creating chaos through various forms of subterfuge and using this as an excuse to institute order.
Biometric border system to work, everyone will obviously need to be in the system. And the Trump administration is using tariffs to compel foreign nations to comply. After returning from this trip, U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem said that she met with Mexican President Sheinbaum about sharing biometric data in exchange for ending tariffs.
Do you think the Mexican president, you talked to her, is doing enough to defeat the cartels down there?
You know, we talked extensively about that. I gave her some options of more she could do. I asked her specifically to share biometric information with us, and she's willing to discuss that, even though that in her country would be a little bit controversial. But she's putting a good faith effort. But President Trump is clear. He doesn't want people to keep talking. He wants to see action.
As a result of this, several laws went into effect last week in Mexico that will require the CURP, Mexico's 18-character version of the U.S. Social Security number, to include a QR code containing biometric data of both fingerprints and retinal scans. These new digital IDs will be monitored by the new Unified Identity Platform Agency, and biometric data will be shared with both Mexican and U.S. government agencies. The new biometric CURP will be legally required to purchase internet and mobile service, and changes to Mexico's telecommunications law will force internet service providers to share users' real-time geolocation data with Mexican authorities, allowing them the ability to shut down service and block digital platforms for failing to comply with regulatory provisions.
All right. And that's what it's all about. That's why they start in smaller countries. And it's coming to the U.S. because the U.S. is the leader in all of these things, right? Really, the idea of it flows from the U.S., right? So this biometric system that they're setting up in Mexico, a lot of Edomites live, or a lot of white people live and go and retire in Mexico. I think that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, videos coming out. And I got a couple videos of them showing, a lot of these Mexicans, man, rising up and they're going ham on a lot of these white people that live down there, because when they go to retire there, they live this plushy lifestyle, but it's taken up in the communities because there's a lot of Edomites that live out there that retire there. And it takes up the cost of food, the cost of living, the cost of rent, all skyrocket because Esau wants to go out there and retire and live cheaply. So those people are pissed the fuck off, man. Okay? But yet they are deporting them from America. And Mexico is letting them come in and just, fuck up the cost of living. And the people are pissed about that shit. When they should be given the same response. But, King Trump, as they put it, all right, which we also know as the cruel Lord from the Bible. This cruel demon, he is juiced in with the elites. So anything that Mexico does that the elites don't like, they put sanctions on them, or, they'll actually take, like, if they went too far, because I just seen something where it said Mexico vowed not to, do I think it said a military invasion of the U.S. because of the tariffs, because the tariffs are so fucking high on Mexico, and that's for a lot of these countries. America is out of control, dog, and them Trump tariffs is really putting people on edge. On edge. A lot of these people, man. That's wild. And a lot of people aren't waking up to it because they're still asleep. Okay? They still out of the loop because the vast majority is just hypnotized. Like he said in the beginning, especially these MAGA supporters, which a lot of them are waking up seeing that Trump is a piece of shit, but it's already said and done. They're in there. He doesn't care about the approval rating and shit like that. He has full access to do as he pleases on the behest of the elites, man. All right. All right, this is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, got that RFID microchip. All right, in the right hand or the left hand. I don't care if it's in your ass cheek. Get it? The Most High is gonna destroy you. And in your forehead, they're putting that brain chip in they already started the trial. There's a Jake Male that already has a so-called black man, a paraplegic. All right, that's the RFID, or that's the mark in the forehead. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, because you won't be able to make any kind of purchases. Okay, save he had the mark. It says, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So you won't be able to make any moves. Put gas in your car, go buy groceries. That's what's going to cause 2/3 of our people and the majority of the people to crack, because they are, going to crumble under the pressure, especially if you have children and they're hungry, because they have no faith, to make it through those times. This is, Revelation 13 and 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of men, and his number is 666. Right? Let's keep going.
Central bank digital currency in America. It won't happen. I also remain fully committed to my pledge never to allow the creation of a central bank digital currency in America. It won't happen. My first.
So I saw that clip on my Twitter time.
Complete hypocrite. Complete hypocrite. And then fast forward, and what do you see? You just said that earlier, right? Well, hold on. Let's go back real quick.
Almost everyone's under mind control.
Look at what he said right here. This devil, man. You gotta be a complete fool to believe this devil.
They're doing it here in Mexico.
We will finally complete the biometric entry exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
The main purpose of opening the book.
All the way. So he went from saying that to saying
ID
this.
System would be tolerated in order for a biometric.
No, this is what he said beforehand.
I also remain fully committed to my pledge never to allow the creation of a central bank digital currency in America. It won't happen. My first.
So I saw that clip on my Twitter timeline.
Now check this out. All right, this is James 1 and 8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All of his ways. Okay? Period. All his ways is double-minded. Okay? That's not somebody that you should be trying to trust. That's an unstable person. And Trump is just a fucking puppet any goddamn way of the elites. The elite 1% bankers. So.
Thumbs up, hell yeah. I'm flapping my wings like a bird because I'm like, we're free from the central bank digital currency. This is an actual win. And then a few moments later, I see the clip from his buddy, David Sachs. And this is what he said. Take a listen.
And now today, you have another historic legislative achievement that is a monumental step to fulfilling your promise to making the United States the crypto capital of the world. This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system. And it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally, by creating a digital dollar that people all over the world can use.
You guys hear that? One more time.
It will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally, by creating a digital dollar that people all over the world can use.
So to me, that sounds like the same thing, just a different label. Instead of a central bank digital currency, no, you're not getting that. You're just getting a digital dollar. Anyways, I was curious, so I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, I said, how exactly will our lives change with this new Genius Law passed and a digital dollar? And this is what it said. It said you'll still use dollars, but digitally. It said you won't stop spending money, but you'll slowly stop spending physical cash. It'll be fast, cheap, and convenient. But behind the scenes, every transaction will be logged, traceable, and potentially programmable, which sounds terrible. It says that pilot programs will start quietly. You might start getting offers like claim your $500 digital rebate, faster tax refunds if You sign up for your federal wallet, and it will feel like a reward, but it's bait to get you into the system early. I'm sure my audience will enjoy this one. We'll be nudged towards a digital ID, and to use the digital dollar long term, you'll likely need the KYC verification, your social security number, and possibly even biometrics, face scan, and fingerprint. And eventually, the wallet will equal your ID. And once you're in, opting out becomes harder. Thumbs up. Next one, it says your money could be smart. Programmable money means that your funds could expire if not spent by a deadline. It could be restricted to certain merchants, items, or regions, or be frozen or limited based on government decisions or flags. So to me, that kind of sounds like if you get on their bad side, they could just freeze our funds. Think if you keep questioning about the Epstein files, your account's going to get frozen. If you keep, questioning why we send all this money to our greatest ally while we have a bunch of issues here at home, your funds will be frozen. Sounds great, doesn't it? Next one, it says surveillance will be built in. That's pretty self-explanatory. Anything digital, they can basically see and flag you and watch what you're doing and spending on at all times. So, good. Here we go. I'm sure my audience is going to absolutely love this one, and that is that they will have more control over us during emergencies. And think Palantir, they're going to have all our data. They're going to know if we're vaccinated, all this BS. And then they'll be able to say, oh, it's an emergency. There's a new pandemic. You got to stay home and stay safe. Hey, what do you think you're doing? We know that you're not vaccinated. Well, you're supposed to stay home and stay safe. And we see that you're trying to go to that bar, that movie theater, hang out with your friends. You're in danger. You're putting them at risk. Before, they couldn't really do much about it because you just use cash. Now it's all digital, what they're trying to do. So they'll just be able to shut your account down and you'll be screwed. And this is how it finished. It said, bottom line, this is what the Genius Act sets the foundation for: a compliant, traceable, and eventually programmable dollar rolled out by private actors just strictly to avoid the CBDC label. With government back-end control, it won't look like tyranny at first. It will look like innovation, safety, and convenience. But over time, it becomes a soft prison that you can't escape without being flagged. Anyways, guys, who cares about all that? Because the good news is, at least it's not a central bank digital currency. It's a digital dollar, which does the same thing. And we're still controlled, and there's still psychopaths. But it's a different name, a different brand. So everything's great. Thanks, Trump, for banning CBDCs. Awesome.
I also remain fully committed to.
Yeah, so that's what they do. They change the brand name of something, and then they repackage it and push it out there on the market as market it as something else. But it's the same bullshit. Okay? Same old bullshit, different day. Nothing new under the sun, right? All right, here's that new bill. Once again, that passed. We're going into the Genius Act, right? Here we go.
People, Trump has vowed to make the United States the crypto capital of the world while he signed in the Genius Act. This act essentially is going to allow stable coins, cryptocurrencies to get institutionalized that will be backed up by the dollar. Ultimately, guys, the dollar is going to fail. It's going to falter. This means that all of us are going to move into a digital currency system. We all knew this. I hope if you were paying attention. I know a lot of people think I'm reaching, that this isn't a big deal, but here's what I see. I see something like this going on, as the Bible tells us in Revelation 13. No man will be able to buy or sell save he have the mark. I think Neuralink technology can potentially be integrated in with this cryptocurrency system. It's only a few steps away. Everything is going digital, and that's going to have ramifications and effects that people are not prepared for. They think that it's just some sort of technological evolution that's going to catapult us into the future, and they think they're witnessing something truly great and historic. It's going to be historic for sure, but it's prophetic, it's biblical. It's not going to have the outcome that people expect of being deceived. I say this as someone who has crypto. I understand that this is going to be used against people. I already made a video about this, but imagine all of these crypto millionaires who are just waiting to realize their potential gains and profits, but they get hit with a roadblock. We have to take this mark so that we can safely and effectively transfer all of this over into your name, that no man can take it from you, and we can monitor wherever it goes so that if it gets stolen, we can track it for you. people are going to think that that's some sort of security precaution, some sort of safe measure. Ultimately, they're taking the mark of the beast. Now, I might not be exactly one, but all I'm saying, guys, is keep your heads up, read your Bible, pay attention, specifically read Revelation, because this has a lot to do with it. Revelation 13, read that.
That's right. I did. I read you Revelation 13 and 16. That digital currency is already here, baby. The framework is here. And once that is made mandatory, once they start pushing that shit, it's a wrap, dog. World War III is going to come moving in, and these troops are going to come in like a flood, man. Martial law. You already got troops in LA, and Trump basically is moving in the military to, well, they're already in DC, but they're going to get rid of the law enforcement in DC because somebody from Doge allegedly got carjacked or injured. I don't know if they got shot or whatever doing alleged carjacking, and Trump is using that to justify bringing in the military and phasing out the police when crime is actually down. Matter of fact, yeah, didn't they say that? Hold on, let me see something real quick. All right, check this out.
Police data shows crime is down, but many residents say it doesn't feel that way. And tonight, President Trump took aim at the district and once again threatened to take over the city.
And either they're going to straighten their act out in terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
This threat comes in response to a former Doge employee who says he was assaulted over the weekend by a group of teenagers. DC police tell us tonight 2 15-year-olds have been arrested and charged in that case. Katie Lusso is in Northwest with more on the impact of the president's threat.
Now let's remember, this is not the first time the president has threatened a federal takeover of the district, but it definitely has a lot of people talking, especially at national night events across the city. In the shadow of national night out events across the district,
I wanna move mountains, I blew bubbles, I ate the food.
A conversation is back in the spotlight about crime in the district. The president posting to Truth Social a photo of a man he says is a Doge employee who was assaulted over the weekend on Swan Street. He says local youths are randomly attacking innocent people because they're not afraid of law enforcement, threatening to have the federal government take over DC.
Either they're going to straighten their act out in terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
It's not the first.
We will take over the horribly run capital of our nation.
Or even second time.
We would run it so good.
He's made threats like this. Although the mayor did not comment Tuesday, she has in the past.
You have to fight every day for not being in this position.
But the president's latest threat not lining up with what U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro said at one of the D.C. National Night Out events Tuesday.
Let me say this. Crime is going down in D.C. It's going down in D.C. because of you.
While for many, crime is a concern.
There's crime still.
A Trump takeover may not be the solution they have in mind.
You talking about the crime. The crime is when you let the people out that done messed up January the 6th.
He's acting out of spite. I don't know what for. I feel like he has something to prove.
I think it's important that we uplift those children and focus on why this is happening. You know, maybe we need to implement more programs. Maybe Trump needs to implement more programs and focus on that in the city instead of all these other things that don't really matter.
One thing to point out, in order for the federal government to take over the district, Congress would first have to repeal the Home Rule Act. In Northwest D.C., I'm Katie Lusso, WUSA Network.
And that's what it is. That's all it is they want to bring in the military to police up Jake. All right, they want to bring in them troops like a flood, okay, as the scripture says. Hold on. This is Habakkuk 3 and 16. When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered. At the voice, rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself, that I might rest in the day of trouble. What time is that? The time of Jacob's trouble. For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans especially, it's right here on the cusp. It says, when he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. Okay? So what they're doing now is they're justifying it because some fucking Edomite, oh, you got beat up by some random 15-year-old youths, and it's just all out of control now. They ain't not afraid of police and all of that shit. Like, but the crime is down here. And then you got this Esau's lieutenant, this black woman mayor in D.C. Oh yeah, well we gotta fight every day. Shut the fuck up. And then you got old girl out there. She's saying, hey, the crime is down in D.C. because of the people, man. The people ain't playing that shit. So what you now have is a controlled narrative in this wicked ass system. And what they are doing is utilizing that controlled narrative to bring in these troops. So what? So they can enforce this mark of the beast that is soon to be made mandatory, right? Now you heard the Jake lady say, she said, yeah, y'all talking about the crime increasing in the streets. It started with the people that you let out from the whole January 6th shit that happened when they attacked they all got pardoned and stuff. You know, that did that alleged attack on the White House. This is what she meant. Check this out, man.
Justice Department has hired a January 6 rioter who was seen on body cam footage encouraging rioters to kill police at the Capitol. Jared Wise is now a senior advisor and counselor to Ed Martin, the director of the DOJ's so-called Weaponization Committee, which is established by President Trump to go after his political enemies. The footage obtained by NPR was shown during Wise's trial earlier this year, before Trump pardoned him in the midst of his trial, along with about 1,500 Capitol riot defendants.
You are the Nazi. You already stopped him. You can't see it. Because you're chasing your pension, right? Your pension. Your retirement, right? That's what runs your life. Your retirement. The sad thing is they're not even going to get your pension because it's going to be your house. And shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
The Trump administration's forced out more FBI officials who investigated Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. The purge includes Stephen Jensen, the head of the FBI's Washington, D.C. field office.
All right, but that was the point. And you hear this Edomite, kill him. Because that's their natural nature, dog. Okay? This is 2 Peter 2:10. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise governments. Presumptuous are they, self-willed. They are not afraid to speak of dignities, speak evil of dignities. That's in their nature. So when they looking and they pointing fingers at Jake, right, that were put in these circumstantial situations, especially with the lack of fathers and the maturity level, not actually being in the households because the fathers and what have you are not present. We're put in these certain circumstances. We're starting to come around and in certain ways, improve that in certain ways, but then even as we make these improvements, they still point fingers at you. When the original one, these Edomites, are the one that are natural anarchists, man. All right, so this is just part one. I'm gonna do another part to this because I have some more intriguing videos. You know what I'm saying? I got to go out and preach highways and byways. All right, go preach his word. But you know that mark of the beast is here, and it will soon be made mandatory. So with that, I pray you will edify. All right, till the next time I bid you, shalom.